has been a good thing to get people thinking about their career goals. And Jeannie is with me now. Hello, Jeannie. Do you consider yourself a job genie? What was the other one? An interview guru?
Well, I'm a dream job mentor. And on LinkedIn, I am badged as the queen of interviews. So take it all.
That's what you put in your car insurance as well. I'd love to know how much that costs. So why are people changing then? Is it such a big, are the figures so big that you've seen such a huge difference?
I've got to be honest, I do take some of these figures with a pinch of salt. I do think that absolutely the pandemic has made people question everything because it threw everything up in the air. I don't think that the stats highlight what industries, have the levels of redundancy. There's not that much specifics on it, but I think the trend is there in that people are jumping to different sectors. They are trying their hand at something new. They are retraining and they're exploring what their careers are going to look like, in the next few years.
Like you say, there's training. So has that changed as well? Are more people training for other things?
Yeah, I think particularly in the pandemic, when people had more time on their hands, online courses and things like that shot up because a lot of people wanted to be proactive. They wanted to keep their skills up. They wanted to have that competitive edge when things reopened. But for a lot of people, because it made them question whether or not the sector that they're in, the job that they're in is safe, is it stable, do they have a future there? It was the perfect time for a lot of people to explore their actual passions, things that they might have been thinking about for a really long time.
And what's your advice now? We said earlier it's 47 days or something silly until Christmas. Traditionally, this is the sort of time we go, well, do you know what, I'll get through Christmas and then in the new year we'll see. What's your advice to anyone sort of thinking about making that change now?
I would say, you're making a really powerful decision straight away if you are deciding to change a career or put your own ambitions first and find something that lights you up that you genuinely want to do. What I would say is don't wait to equip yourself with the techniques to actually succeed in getting that career or that job that you want, because it is really competitive out there. There's many hoops to jump through when applying for positions at the moment. So it's absolutely possible, but I would say don't wait until the new year, February. I would start looking into what you need to be able to demonstrate or acquire to have that competitive edge when going for your ambitions, whether that be knowing how to package your expertise, knowing how to position yourself really strongly for interview, or just starting to reach out and speak to employers and finding out, how to make that dream a reality.
You've got to fake it to make it as well a little bit. That's the thing I always found really difficult was, you have experience and there'll be loads of people like this, have experience, but then putting it on the CV. And obviously the CV now tends not to always be read by a human person. There's tick boxes, there's buzzwords, there's keywords. What's your advice there for someone who is thinking that, but thinking, I'm not going to get past that stage?
I have something that I've developed called the Peacock Effect. And it's about you when you're writing about yourself or when you are talking about yourself in an interview situation, always use peacock words, because ultimately I know that you have to get the buzzwords and get through the ATS tracking systems. There is a real person shortlisting on the other side. And unfortunately, to get to interview or pass those final interview stages, it's never just about skills and experience. It's about your ability to bring yourself to life, to have that likability factor, for that employer to see something in you, that passion.
Well, you've done that, Judy. I'll have to interrupt you because we're running out of time. But you've definitely done that. So we'll go and look at you on LinkedIn and find out with your peacocking words and get your advice. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
No
Judy,
problem.
the genie guru of jobs. There we go. Right, let's get you up to speed on some more of today's Nottinghamshire headlines. After a police officer was hit with a metal pole, a senior Notts